Okay, Rabbi, so I want to learn a little bit about the halachas of Erev Tisha, which this year, Be'ezus Hashem, is going to be on Shabbos Kodesh. Now, normally speaking, Erev Tisha is a day that we restrict ourselves even more from some of the things that we've been doing during the 9 days, and we're getting into gear a little bit about the Yom of Tisha B'Av and the day that it represents, which of course is the greatest tragedy that ever befell Klal Yisrael. So generally speaking, on an Erev Tisha B'Av, there are two major halachas, and the other one we're going to discuss tomorrow. Number one, and that is lo yital. Don't run around. A person should not be strolling, taking leisurely walks, taking leisurely hikes and all these sorts of things. That applies on a regular Erev Tisha B'Av, and it also applies this year, even though it's Shabbos Kodesh. And on Shabbos Kodesh, of course, we're not allowed to do any avelis b'fahesia. However, we have to make sure that we don't take on Shabbos afternoon from Chatzos onwards, that we don't take nice leisurely walks, especially with our friends and with other people. If you want to go for a silent walk on yourself to contemplate what's about to happen on Motzei Shabbos, that's okay. But if you want to go with a group of friends, let's go for a walk after Chatzos, that should be avoided, because it is, after all, Erev Tisha B'Av, which means it's right before the Zman that we know the Beis Hamikdash was indeed burnt, and therefore it's important for us to be in the right frame of mind from Chatzos onwards. The other halacha is learning Torah. We know that one of the halachas on Tisha B'Av itself is that we're not allowed to learn Torah. Torah brings a person simcha. Sometimes we don't even feel the simcha, but inside our neshama feels the greatest simcha of all when we learn Torah. Therefore, after Chatzos on Erev Tisha B'Av, we do not learn Torah except for those things that are mutter to be learned on Tisha B'Av itself, in Yonei Churban, Musa, and of course Hilchos Tisha B'Av. However, many of the poskim and the Mishnah Berurah and other poskim hold, if you want to be Mekel Lo Hifsid, you haven't lost anything of learn normally. It's Shabbos Kodesh, and therefore a person can learn whatever he normally wants to learn or does learn on Shabbos Kodesh, even though it is, of course, Erev Tisha B'Av. So those are the halachas that are Nageya. Tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem, we'll talk a little bit more about Shalosh Shudas and the night of Tisha B'Av. Have a wonderful day.